My name is Diane. I'm a professor emerita in the Department of Folklore at Memorial University. In my article, Eating Your Path, Fairy Lore and Scarcity in Newfoundland and Labrador, published in Volume 46, Number 2 of Ethnologies, I reflect on how earlier residents of the province have used folklore, specifically stories and beliefs about fairies, or the good people as they were more commonly called, to both articulate and manage food insecurity. This is a topic that I'd been thinking about for a while. I came to it through the work of other folklorists, such as Dorothy Noyes, who argue that expressions like oral folk tales collected in the 19th century represent a space of analysis and debate among poor people evaluating their life options. I was particularly interested in exploring folklore as a vehicle for Newfoundlanders and Labradorians to give voice to and to deal with food insecurity, given that the region has a significant history of economic struggle for many of its residents. While other folklore genres, maybe like the folk tales that Dorothy Noyes wrote about, might seem like more obvious choices, I looked at fairy lore in Newfoundland and Labrador for two reasons. First, it was very widespread in the province, crossing geographic and religious divides. And second, it's very well documented in Memorial University's Folklore and Language Archives. My research indicates that for earlier residents of Newfoundland and Labrador living with scarcity, to think with fairy traditions was to seemingly keep one's eyes open and one's expectation low. Fairies lurked in wait for your supplies, if not your soul. Their food looked delicious, but had disastrous effects for any human being who succumbed to temptation. Even your loved ones could turn on you. When transformed into changelings by fairies, they threatened the family's welfare from within. Yet fairy lore taught the importance of generosity, even in the face of this uncertainty. It emphasized the importance of sharing with others, even fairies and changelings. Highlighting self reliance, it instructed on practical approaches to getting by, from looking after others, who then in turn might help you out later on when you needed it, to being prepared for whatever the future brings by managing one's resources well. In exploring economic conditions and meanings of success, fairy traditions also examine ongoing tensions residents felt between being a reliable community member and looking after their own individual interests. These emerging themes underscore the rich potential of fairy lore, as well as other forms of traditional culture in Newfoundland and Labrador and beyond, to reveal valuable insights about earlier cultural dynamics of food insecurity and scarcity more generally. They offer tantalizing glimpses of imaginative and practical strategies people used to combat these realities.